Narrow hallways. The followers of the old ways, they wrote weird things on the walls. The words strange like the Fae, depicting everlasting rises and falls. I traced my fingers through the paint. The smell of copper was easy to take. It made all the others wither and faint. I feel so alone following the old make. My fur came to me before I was aware, the tips of my paws clipping in the dark. The world wasn't really made that fair, it was a more perfectly created art. Tell me, did the figures in your head form it? The vividly made pictures in the dim light? The memories that didn't quite fit right? The melodies that didn't play through sight? The colors of my eyes were lost in those rites. Yellow, brown, or green, searing eerily, you didn't care to know that I was in fright, baring my fangs, fight or flight. Silvery hued doors that lead out of here, the kingdom of downs, quiet regards, the war that we made out of that gate, there's no senses for us to guard. Jagged walls. The memories are what make the living the strangest. The bearings of the hopes and dreams rarely redeemed. The casualties were made again and again bloodlessly. The lyrics that play tricks on the mind, the cagiest. The return of humanity always a silly little lie, but I'll be damned if it's not written in tepid wine, a removable stain that cannot be defined. Tell me, where are your lines? The walls are jagged, ragged, blood-matted, wings that were cut off in a war long ago. The shows of mortals weren't easy to forego. I swear we're bleeding out, midnight shouting. There are many, many people in the hall. You climb on their back. They drag you down. Bitter tears, anger-based fears gore their sides. I swear I'll push you back up. We'll be all right. Reach down into the shadows. Feel my bones. I know a place that makes up lines, a new home, but that home isn't for us, not for us alone. Walking beside myself is what I know, you know. Grip my paws and they'll be hands, you know. You called and I came around, but silently I'll mouth the fears and tell you secrets I don't recall. I swear we'll be all right, remaking moonlight. Rekindled vice. The days and nights spent falling behind the sentence, coding your vice, a bellowing matrimony between death and life, revitalizing the meaning of giving in. Swords flashing and clashing close to the eyes, the barriers between human and monsters revived, the smell of the blood refurbishing the knives. Come at me one last time. The sleeping isn't sleeping without dreaming. The baritone recollections are now in season. The venomous bubbles rising from boundless oceans. You kept renaming your intentions like you know them. How did it feel the first time the spear entered your brain, came out of your heel, tearing your heart like it was just a messy smear? Didn't that after image cause you to reel? That snug glove around your neck that wrecks any other sort of sense that is meant to keep your ups and downs in check. Who did you have to piss off to end up like this? The growl that builds in your chest isn't meant to rest, that rumbling like the thunder that scrambles your head. It makes the blood taste like an old, ill-begotten friend. That's what it's meant to leave, yeah? That's all it takes to live? How did it feel, yeah? How did it feel when feeling hit skin? Did it make all that nausea reappear until your gut was resentful? The babe, that blood you never meant to shed. How did it feel? How did it feel when you were remade again? What it means. I suppose it feels like taking off a helmet. It's like a mask has been removed. It's like learning how to appear friendly rather than preparing for a feud. I suppose it's like removing a grimacing mask to reveal a face already bent to snarl, but now it's learning how to smile without the intentions of biting after. I suppose it's learning to ignore your tone, or rather learn to mold it to something else. Ignore how the words are craggy to their ears. Ignore how you haven't spoken properly in years. I suppose it's like learning a new set to your language, instead of learning who's going to bite and who's not. You have to figure out what a friendly gesture means, who's joking and who's rather not. I suppose it means adding a new layer to your empathy. It's easy to understand people when you're not amongst them. They're just any other animal that you might meet. But now you have to learn how to hide your teeth, to learn how to speak with ease, to learn how to distinguish finer things, to learn how to cross your T's, to learn what being a person means. Not red. Let's make a better world for all of us. I'll use all the vivid colors I've stashed away. I'll take a needle and thread. I can't seem to find red. Well, that's perfectly fine. I'll just use a bit of this twine. What a beautiful image it's going to be. It's going to have you and you and you and me. Oops. I pricked my finger with the needle. That hurt a bit, I think, but I can't remember. Oh, look! Blood is staining the entire page. Well, that's perfectly okay. It's red. Please don't bemoan the single page. The thread is worn and the edges frayed. I smudged the ink here, see? There's nothing that's really wrong with me. Well, we can always start again. And again! That's what I've done, but I can't remember the last end. Maybe I've lost my privilege to have a clean send. Maybe I haven't had a beginning to begin with. That's really bleeding now, isn't it? Please come back. Please don't go. I know it's not the red I promised, Sen. The black is all I've really ever known. I'm aware that this isn't really a story. It's a dirty old rag that I mistook for jewelry. But who says we can't remake it again? Please don't let these shining days end.